One of the hardest things to do in Pokemon investing is to take profits. Especially in the market we're in right now, everybody wants to hold because things are skyrocketing, things have skyrocketed, and it just seems like this is going to go on forever. But I've talked about this before. This market at some point will cool down. It's going to happen, it's inevitable. Things are not going to skyrocket forever. So, when some products, when some things have skyrocketed very quickly in a short amount of time, it would be prudent to sell some to take some of those profits and you can roll that into other things. Now, I've mentioned this before. The strategy is very common to sell some, keep some. Now, there are times when this strategy really wouldn't have worked. For example, with Evolving Skies. Let's say Evolving Skies you bought at $100, hit 200, and you doubled your money, and then you sold some, maybe sold all of it. Well, what are they at now? They're at $1,000. So obviously, that wouldn't have been the right play, but you know, I mean, it still was smart at the time when it doubled. So things can happen where if you look back, maybe sell some off now, and you in the future maybe they're double, triple, whatever. It can happen. But some of these things have gone up so much so quickly to the point where it really, in my opinion, would not be a bad idea to take some profits. And that is something that I feel like is understated right now that people don't talk about is taking profits because everything's just going up. And they can continue to go up. So I'm not making this video to tell you to sell any of these right now, but I want to give you guys some examples of some products that have gone up very quickly where I would say if you were to sell some off, you don't have to sell everything, but if you were to sell some off right now, I don't think it's the worst idea ever. And I get a lot of flack for, talking about selling things, but really, you guys got to understand, we're in a market right now where liquidity really isn't an issue. But some of these products, when they get very expensive, let's say in a year or two from now, let's say they double whatever from what they're at now and the market cools down, the liquidity of these products are probably not going to be as high as it is right now. So to take some profits, which you're going to be making a lot on some of these, to roll that into other products, maybe some booster boxes or something like that, it's not always a bad idea. And it's one of those things where I understand we're seeing so much strength, and you don't want to sell anything because everything's just going up. I get it, but sometimes selling in the strength of markets, you don't have to sell everything. Like I said, selling some things, it's not always a bad idea because liquidity right now is it's so good right now. So some of these products, especially the ones that are expensive, they're selling pretty easily. Like I said, when things cool off, let's say you hold all of your stuff and then the market cools off, and let's say then you need to take profits. It might not be as easy to sell at the time. You might need to sell for a little bit under market. Like that's why I feel like just the sell some keep some strategy is very good because you can keep some for the long term. Maybe liquidity maybe is some of an issue when they get to a certain price point. You at least took some profits early on. You could have rolled that into something else and you still have some. It's always a good strategy. For some things, I've talked about it with, for myself. For example, Surging Sparks, I don't really plan on selling any of those. And that's obviously my strategy because I just believe, Surging Sparks long term, I feel like there's a lot more growth. I feel like it has a higher ceiling. And for 151 and some of the other products you guys have, you can say the same thing. So it's completely opinionated, but I just want to talk about just buying some, or just selling some and keeping some is always a good strategy. And I want to give you guys some examples with some of these products. So 151. Now I got a lot of heat for talking about possibly selling my 151 Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, and I try to rationalize it, but I get a lot of people are very bullish on 151. So me talking about selling it, really no one's really going to agree with me. But I've told you guys this before. MSRP is $60. Right now they're selling for around $275. So it's more than quadrupled right now. And when it hits 300, that'd be 5x. So I've told you guys this before. For it to double, it'd have to now like 10x from MSRP. Is that possible? Sure. What is the liquidity going to be like at that time? We don't really know. When it hits 500, we don't know how long that's going to be. We don't know how the market's going to be. We've never seen a Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box hit those prices. So this is where I try to rationalize with you guys. Selling right now quadruple or 5xing your money. That's not a bad idea, and this is only like a year old. And to put that money into some other products, some other Scarlet and Violet products, maybe some Sword and Shield products, it's really not a bad idea. And like I said, if you're thinking about maybe selling some like me, which a lot of people seem to not be doing that because when I told you guys that I was possibly going to sell these, a lot of people said that I was crazy. But if you're thinking about selling some of these products, it's not a bad idea. You can always keep some and sell some. So yeah, that's just my take on this. I know a lot of people don't agree with me on these, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, but I mean, this is already as expensive as some like ones that are like 6 years old. Yes, this can keep going higher. I get it, but based on the math and stuff, it's already like pretty much 5x. It's like for me, I'm willing to take profits and I'm perfectly happy. And I feel like that's another problem right now is that everyone is very bullish. So selling anything right now is a bad idea. But I feel like in any time, like any other time than it is right now, if you were to have 5 extra money on something in a year and the market isn't as crazy as it is right now, like people would congratulate you for being like, you held all in until now, it's 5x in a year, you did great. But now that I talk about taking some profits off of something that's already 5x in a year, it seems like it gets a lot of negativity. And I understand because people like 151, but for me, mathematically, it's a smart play to roll this money into other stuff. That's just my opinion, and yeah, that's just about enough, I guess, talking about this. And another product I would, think about, possibly maybe selling in sort of, market where liquidity isn't that much of an issue is a product like these collection boxes. Like these binder collection boxes, I think they're cool for displayability and stuff, but I think long term, people really care about packs and opening up packs. And right now, this binder collection box is very expensive. It only has, 4 packs. I thought it had 5, but it only has 4 packs, I guess. And this is selling for about $90. And it's because obviously it has a cool binder, whatever, but it only has 4 packs. And if you look at the retail of this, it's $25. So you've what? Like 3.5 times your money? So a product like this, like a binder collection, long term, yeah, it's a cool piece to display. It's gonna go up, but a lot of the value of this right now, it's not really the packs because packs right now are going for what, $9-10. So this, in my opinion, is one of those products where I would say, out of all the 151 products, honestly, I feel like binder collections might be the one to sell. And we have the Blooming Waters collection box coming up. Obviously, we don't know how that's going to be priced. We don't know the availability. But a binder collection box, when it's like 3.5 times, retail, I feel like something like this to sell into the strength of the market where liquidity isn't probably as bad. I feel like this is maybe, the type of product that would probably be pretty smart to sell in this sort of market. You could use this money, and let's say the Blooming Waters collection box comes out, you can readily, buy it, I guess, for a decent price. I don't know what they're going to be at, obviously. I mean, to sell a product like this, I feel like in the future, this type of thing is going to be a lot less liquid compared to some other ones. So this is, I guess, an example I want to give of a product that isn't very good in my opinion, but just because it's 151, it's really expensive. But 3.5 times your money for a product like this, I feel like it would be pretty smart to actually sell right now. And another one, obviously I'm not selling any of these, but a lot of people did, sell Surging Sparks booster boxes because a lot of people doubled their money in a month. Is a perfect example of what I mean by, people taking profits off of, things that, go up really quickly. But what's really strange to me is that a lot of people were on board flipping and selling Surging Sparks because they were able to double their money, I guess, in a month or two. But with 151, selling something that's already like 4 or 5x in a year, I guess that's a bad idea. It's like a lot of, I guess, opinions, and I understand that. So for me, I guess Surging Sparks not selling them. A lot of people did. In 151 Pokemon Silly Trainer boxes, me thinking about selling them. A lot of people don't want to do it. It's all opinion based, and that's what a lot of this is, to be honest. But that's just my take on these sorts of things. And I feel like just taking profits right now. I know everything's going up in this market, but selling some stuff off that's really gone up a lot, it's honestly not a bad idea. And you guys gotta remember, at some point, you're gonna have to sell this stuff. So when some stuff goes up a lot this quickly, you can use that money, take profits in a strong market when things are going to be pretty easy to sell, especially some of these products that aren't as good. It's very easy to sell, take profits, move it into something else. It's like, I feel like now in this market it's demonized, but it's really, it's honestly a smart idea to do it because you don't know how, where liquidity is going to be for some of these products in the future, especially not booster boxes. You don't know how it's going to be. So that's my whole take on this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and, maybe you can understand where I'm coming from. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.